So this is a university database, and we were looking at creating databases. So in project, we have two fields, project ID and start date. So we have used short text and date and time, and project ID is the primary key. Similarly, if you take supervisor ID and if you get the design view, you can see supervisor ID short text, first name, last name, department name, and supervisor ID is the primary key. Sorry. In supervisor project, we have three fields: supervisor ID, project ID, and allowance. And both supervisor ID and project ID together create the primary key. එතකොට මේකේ primary key එක හැදලා තියෙන මේ දෙකෙන්ම මේ දෙක එකතු වෙලා තමයි හැදලා තියෙන්නේ. Right. එහෙම හදලා ඉවර වුණාට පස්සේ once you have defined the primary key, then you can change the view, right? So you can go to view, sorry, right? And then you can change it to data sheet view, right? You can insert, and this is what we have done. Then under the database tools, we have to define relationships, right? So when we define the relationships, usually we'll get all the tables and we connect each other, right? The foreign keys are put into primary keys and then the connection make. Once you have finished this relationship, then you can write queries. Now, for example, to write a query, we can go to create, and under that we can say query wizard or query design. So let me start with the query design. So this is query 2, we already have query 1. Now let's say we are going to combine all the three tables. So for example, we can say, we can choose what you need, right? So project, for example, we have project, we have supervisor, right? We have this, right? And then when you select it, we can say, for example, supervisor details, let's say supervisor first name, right? And then department name, let's take a department name. Then let me take project start date, and then I'm going to take allowance. I'm using all the three. Right, I will put like this. එතකොට පුතේ මම මෙතනදි කරේ මට අවශ්‍ය වෙන දත්ත මොනවද කියලා කියනවා. හැබැයි මේ දත්ත එන්නේ දැන් මේකේ ටේබල් තුනකින් ඈ. ඒතර query එකේදී අපිට අවශ්‍යතාවය කියලා මේක execute කරාම මෙන්න මෙතෙන්ට ඇවිල්ලා once you finish this, you can run it. When you run it, you will get the answer, right? මෙන්න උත්තරේ එනවා පුතේ tables තුනම එකතු වෙලා අනිල් computer science start date allowance, Mohammed chemistry start date allowance. මෙන්න මේ විදිහට පිළිගන්න. ඒක තමයි query එකක් හදනවා කියලා කිව්වේ. Right. So you can save it. Query 2 එකත් මම මේ විදිහටම save කරා. දැන් අපි queries වෙනකන් දන්නවා. We know how to create table, we know how to join table, we know how to create queries. So that part we know. Right. So let me start with the other parts. What do you mean by other parts? There are other things that we need to discuss. right? So let me go to your textbook. පුතලගේ textbook එක තියෙනවනේ චූට්ටක් බලාගන්න. ඒ textbook එකේ එක තැනක අපි කතා කරනවා in page number 270 we discuss how to create these relations. So that part we have already done. How to get then what to many relationships, that part we have already done, right? And then many to many, so that is also we have discussed, right? Now once you have that, you create the table and then you create the relationships, right? And then we can create forms. So let me talk about creating forms. Forms are interfaces. You can use it to enter the data as well as display the data. You can create the form, right? Now to do that, you have to go to create. So go to create, and under the create, we can go to form design. So here we have something called form design. Click on form design, and then you will get empty, something like this, right? Now once you have the form, you have to decide what data you are going to insert using this interface. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් පොතල ෆෝම් පුරවලා තියෙනවා නම් ෆෝම් එක තියෙනනේ. අන්න ඒ වගේ දැන් මේ වෙලාවේ අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා කරේ ටේබල් එකේ data දාපු එකට. ඒ වෙනුවට අපි data ඇතුල් කරන්න යනවා මේ ෆෝම් එකේ. So we are going to use a form to enter the data. At the same time, we are going to show the data. So I will show you, right, for one data set. Right, now form design, we go and add existing fields. Now what I'm going to do, we are going to add existing fields, right? We are going to show all the tables. Now let's say first projects, project ID. So I can click and drag here, right? So we have two parts, project ID, right? And then start date. Right? I can align so that this is here, right? Start date. Now in project dataset or project table, we have only two fields, right? So because you have two fields, we will have only this. So if you want to include multiple data, you can add everything. Like for example, if you want to show the details of supervisor details also you can add here. There's no issue. You can add, but for the time being, I'm going to add only one, right? And then we can create some buttons. Now these buttons to add, you can add, you can delete. So those things are there, right? Now, for example, these are buttons. So you can click the button, you can draw the button, right? Now let's say I'm going to use this button to add new record, right? So I'm going to select record operations here, and I'm going to select add new record. Next, right? The text is add record. So I'm going to put add record here. Next, right? And then I'm going to say finish. So you see that now there's a add record button. Right. Now similarly, you can have navigation buttons as well. So for example, here we have to have navigation button. So let's see whether I could find it. Navigation button also we can put. Navigation means you can look at the data. So I'm going to create another button to go to next record. Right, this button, I'm going to record navigation, go to next record. Next. I'm going to select text, next record, next. I'm going to say finish. So ideally, when I click next, it should go to the next one, right? Right, now we have to do this. We can go to view. We can go to view, right? And then we can say form view. So let's see how this looks now, my form. Right, you can see now, it shows the first data point, right? P001, and this is the date. I'm going to click next record. It's go to P002. This is the starting date. Next record. P003, next start date. Next record. P004. Next. 5. Next. That's all. Now, if you want to add a new data point, so you can type new data here and you can click add record. Right now we have this P005, only this. Right. Okay, were you able to see the form? උතලට ඒක හදපු එක තේරුණාද නැත්නම් අය පාරක් මම කරලා පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ? හරි පුතේ අය පාරක් මම මුලින් දැන් කරනවා මේක. දැන් ගිය පාර කරේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකනේ මේ ඊළඟ සැරේ මම කරනවා සුපර්වයිසර් එකට. ඒතකොට බලාගත්ත හැගෙන්නේ සුපර්වයිසර් data කොහොමද ෆෝම් එකට දාන්නේ කියලා කරන්නේ. Okay, let's start from the beginning, creation of a form. Remember, forms can be used to enter data as well as view data. මතක තියාගන්න පුතේ forms කියනවා පාවිච්චි කරනවා data enter කරන්න වගේම data display කරන්න. පුතාලා දැන්ටම දන්නවා. නේ? email එකක් හදන්න උනොත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ you have to fill a form for that. Similarly, we have 3 tables. Now I'm going to do next. This is my supervisor data set. I'm going to create a form for this. Right now we have a table with 4 fields, right? To start create a form, you go to create, then you can have form design. When you take form design, you will get an empty screen like this. Then from the add existing field, you have to select supervisor because I'm going to use supervisor. Then you can click and drag whatever the fields that you want to have. මේවා එහෙට මෙහෙට කරලා පොතේ හදා ගන්න ඕනි. Supervisor ID, first name මම ලස්සන ගැන දැනට හිතන්නේ මේක අගේ දාන්න විතරයි හිතන්නේ. Last name, department name. the fields ටික ඔන්න දාගත්ත පොතේ මේ automatically එනවා දැන් මේ තියෙන field එකේ නම මේ data එක. දැන් මේකට එක එක මේ buttons දාන්න ඕනේ මේක වැඩ කරන්න. මම දැනට එක button එකක් දානවා. ඒ දාන්නේ next record කියන එක. මොකද අපිට ඊළඟ එකට යන්න මුලින් එකෙන් පටන් ගමු. එතකොට මේ next record කියන එක අදාළ වෙන්නේ පොතේ මේ record navigation. So you have to select record navigation. Go to next record. Next. And it asks what to display here. So I'm going to select text, next record, next, then finish. Then next record button available. Now you can view the form. Click view, form view. පුතාලට පේනවනේ නේද මේ පළවෙනි data set එක මේ බලන්න. supervisor මේක ගියාම අනිල් ප්‍රියන්ත computer. So you can see here. Go to next record. This is second record. Mohammed Naswa chemistry. You can go to data set and you can verify. This is the second data set. Next, third one, fourth one, fifth one, then empty. Now, what we did is we have seen how to view the form, view the data. The form එක use කරලා view කරන හැටි දැක්කා. දැන් අපි add කරමු. To add, you have to add another button. So I have to go to view. I will go to design view, right? And we need to get a button from here. I will click the button. Then I'm going to have add button. So add button inside the record operations. In record operations, we can add buttons, add records. We can delete records. We can duplicate records. We can print records and so on. So I'm going to select only this one, add record, next, again text, next, and finish. That's all. Then make I para view color, view කරමු මුලින් form. මෙන්න පළවෙනි record එක 2 3 4 5 6. 6ක් නෑනේ. මම 6 type කරනවා. කොහොමද 6? S මම දෙනවා S06. First name Kamal. Karunanand, department computer. Add record. දැන් අපි ගිහිල්ලා බලමු data set එකට මේක add වෙලාද කියලා. supervisor. add වෙලා නෑ වගේ නේද? ඉන්න බලන්න refresh කරලා බලන්න අපි. මම මේ close කරන්න supervisor ආය පාර double කළා ගමු unadd වෙලා මේ තියෙන්නේ ඒක පෙනිලා නෑ අපිට එහෙනම් පුතේ අපි දැනගත්තා කොහොමද form එකකින් data add කරන්නේ කියලා දැන් ඕන් තියෙන 6 වෙනි record right record එක මකන්නත් පුළුවන් දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මම මේ එකතු කරපුවම මම මකන්න හිතනවා නම් මම view ගිහිල්ලා I can go to design view I can have another button and to delete record. So record operation, delete record, next, text, next, finish. ඔච්චරයි. දැන් මම මේක run කරෝ view. ඔන්න පළවෙනි එක ඊළඟ record එකට යනවා 2 3 4 5 6. ඔන්න මේක මම delete record. අන්න මැකුවා. Yes. දැන් data set එකට ගිහිල්ලා බලමු. double click කරලා බලන්න. මේ record 5යි තියෙන්නේ. So you have only 5 records. පුතාලට තේරුණාද මම මේ කරපු ටික? form එකක් create කරලා ඒකට table එක අදාළ form එකේ fields ටික දාලා next record ගිහලා view කරන්න ඉගෙන ගත්තා. record එකක් add කරන්න ඉගෙන ගත්තා. record මකන්න ඉගෙන ගත්තා. If you have understood this well, can you raise your hands? ඔයාලට පුළුවන් ඔය Zoom එකේ තියෙනවනේ පොතේ reactions වලට ගිහිල්ලා අතෝසන එක දාන්න මේක තේරුණා මේ කරපු දේ මොනවද කරේ? I discuss how to create a form and we have discussed how to display the data and then we discuss how to add records. Then finally we discuss how to delete records. මේක තේරුණාය විතරක් අතෝසයි. The තේරු නැතම් බොරුවට අත උස්සන්නේ පණිකයි මොනවා හරි තයි සර් මොනවා හරි තයි. No, it's not like that. If you do not understand, don't. Right. So apparently we have only 5, Malindu, Yonal, Sitichaya, and Tibanka and Yenula. They understood well. Others, I think you need my help, isn't it? Dahemi? කොයි කෑල්ලද පුතේ තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ කිව්වොත් මට වැඩිපුර වෙලාවක් ඒකට ගන්න පුළුවන්. දුලාජ්, ඉමාෂි, කලින්දු, නේහා.
සර් ඇඩ් රෙකෝඩ් එකේ අර බොක්ස් එක ඇතුලට ගන්න කොහොමද?
right මෙහෙමයි. මේක ඇති දෙයක් නේ. මම view එකට ගිහිල්ලා design view වලනේ අපි ඉන්න ඕනේ. දැන් ඒක දැක්කනේ කලින් ගියේ design view. මම add record එක මකන්නම්කෝ. මෙන්න මැකුවා. ගන්නේ මෙහෙමයි. මෙතනින් buttons කියලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ button එක click කරලා අපි button එක ඇඳ ගන්නවා අපිට ඕන විදිහට. එතකොට එන මේ wizard එකක් එනවා. ඒකේ තෝරගන්න ඕනේ පොතේ මේකේ record navigation කියන්නේ එහාට මෙහාට යනවා කියන එක. record operation කියන්නේ add කරනවා delete කරනවා කියන එක. අන්න එහෙම මේකේ තියෙන forms වර්ග අපිට ඕනේ මේ දෙවෙනි එකෙන් add new record කියන එක. ඒකක select කරනවා. Then you go to next. මෙතන අර display වෙන විදිහ අහන්නේ කො image එකක්ද text එකක්ද කියලා. මම I'm going to select text here. Next. Then finish. That's how we got the add record. එච්චරමයි කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. You have to just put the add record. So let's add another button. Now this is next record. I'm going to have previous record. කලින් එකට යනවා. So you go click the button. You draw the button. Then this time it's record navigation. We want to go to the previous record. Next. Previous record. Next. Then අපිට තියෙනවා previous උත් යන්න පුළුවන්. Next එකටත් යන්න පුළුවන්. Let's run. Form view එකට ගියොත් okay, this is the first one, second, third, fourth, fifth. ආපස්සට යන්න පුළුවන්. Fourth, third, second, first. That's all. Right. Okay. Small exercise. Those who have the software installed, can you spend few minutes to create an interface, right? Add some buttons, whatever you want, add some buttons. And can you share your screen with me? Shall we start? So here is we have purchase database. Let's create a form for this. Right. Can someone help me? Can you tell me what is the next step? How to create a form? Yes, Dulaj? Yeah, we have to go to create. Okay. And then what? What is the next step? We go to create form design. Okay, we click this. We get an empty form like this. Then you click on add existing fields. You go to the field list.
Drag.
Click and drag, right? So you will get like this. Click and drag. Click and drag. Click and drag. So you can actually, design in a nicer way, but for the time being, I'm not going to spend time on that one. You can arrange field nicely. Like this. Right. So if you view form view, you are getting something like this, but you cannot go anywhere. Now, if you want to go view other records, we have to add buttons. So So I will go back again to design view. I'm going to add a button to go to the next record. Now here, when you use buttons, comes with the categories. The first category is navigation, going here and there. For example, what we need is go to next record. Okay, you click next, and it does how to represent the button interface. Is it a text or is it a picture? So I'm going to select text. Next, then finish. That's all. So this is new record. Sorry, next record. So if I view, now we see next record. When you click it, you go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one. You see the point? Right. So the exercise I have given you is, okay, I need a simple form interface for any of the tables, and show me some examples. Right. Can you show me how to go to the next record? That's good. Okay. Okay, good. Previous record. Well. Right, good. Right. පෙන්වන්න මලින්දු මට මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා. Okay. හරි. Right, good. හොඳයි. අපි හදන්න යන්නේ month එක sales rep ID එක සහ total sales. මේ ටික තමයි යන්නේ. හරි. අපි අලුත් database එකක් අපි හදමු. Let's create a new database. So I'm going to select file, new, blank database. Let me say this is 2019 paper. And then we are going to save it, right? So this is empty, new, right? The first one, I want to change it to data design view. And I want to give a name for this table. Right? I'm going to name it as sales, since it's about sales. Right? Okay. So right now we have field. First field, I'm going to have it as month. Right? And then I'm going to have it as a short text. Right? Then sales rep ID. Right? So this could be a number. Then total sales. Yes, it should be some currency. Then commission. Again, some currency. Right. Okay. So now I think we have to define what primary key is. Right. The primary key, we have to have both month and sales ID, isn't it?
සර් ඔතනින් වගුව හදාගෙන යන්න බෑ.
පුළුවන්. දැන් පුතේ මෙතනදී මම මේ දෙක select කරලා primary key එක දෙකම ගන්නවා. මොකද මේ දෙකම එන්න ඕන නිසා. Now I'm going to go to view, data sheet view. Yes, we saved it. So let's put the month, January. Sales rep ID 1. Sales 10,000. Forget about the dollar mark. We have not changed this. And then we have again January. Sales ID 2. Total sales 20,000. You have 200. Then February. Yes, sales ID 1. This is 5,000. Commission is 50. Then February. This is 2. And it's 15,850. Okay, so that's all. Right? Now that we have done this, we can create a form as well. We can go to create form design. Right? We can get month. Then sales rep ID. Then we have total sales. Then we have commission. Right. This is looks like this. We can create buttons like next record. So this is add-in record. Then next record. Right. So we have to go to the next record. We can say go to next record, next record, next, finish. That's all. So let me view the form, view form. It will show us the first one. Go to next record, second one, third one. Right. So that's all we have. Okay. So we can change and we can have previous record as well. Let me go back to design. Again, I'm going to add another new data. So I'm going to get the previous record. Right, let me view. Right. And go to next, we can go to previous. So both are working now. Right, and this is what we are going to do. Right, if you are finished, please let me know by raising your hands.
සර් කොමිෂන් එකටත් කරන්සිද දාන්නේ
Commission එකකට මම currency දෙමේ පුතේ. අපි මේක ඕන rupees වලට හැදුවා නම් හරි. අපි design එකට ගිහිල්ලා බලමු. මට මතක නැහැ කොහොමද අපි කරේ කියලා.